What's up, everybody? How you doing? Seems like I just got off. Now we're back. Back on again. We're currently waiting on Miss Ernestine to join the podcast. She's going to be leading this thing, really. I'm just going to, while she talk about getting healthy, I'm going to have me a cigar during the whole process. That's right. Probably create some controversy just in that. What's up, Raquel? See you already in there. We all have our vices. We all have our things. This is my thing. Tell you what, Ernestine, let me do this. Maybe since we're on the live, this is just for Ernestine now. Click on the link while it's on there. Don't be like, oh, I can't talk about health and he's smoking a cigar. You'll be all right. They'll be all right. No such thing as perfections. It's cranberry juice. Grand Rising, people. Grand Rising, what we're going to be doing today. Can y'all hear me well? This special evening podcast is going to talk about eating to heal yourself from disease. I nor Ernestine are doctors, so we are just telling you about our story and what we think. We are not giving medical advice. Trauma Lad, how you doing? This is also going to be interesting to see what kind of numbers of people that comes on in the evening time compared to my early days. But until Angelina stops working, it's going to be mornings. All right.
Sorry about that. How y'all doing?
Can't hear you though.
Can't hear me?
That's my fault. It's my fault. I had
okay.
The mute is always on my laptop.
All right.
That was my fault.
It's okay.
Ernestine, great to meet you.
How you doing? Nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, meet you like here instead of like our normal way of just, in the text and the comments. So,
okay.
Tonight, this conversation started because of a conversation we was having last week, and we started talking about eating properly to get over diseases and whatnot. So,
right,
just to give people a little bit about my health knowledge base. Of course, I spent time in the Marine Corps and learned about health, and as far as the military was concerned. But once I got out of the Marine Corps and after being an IT guy for a while, I went and got certified as a personal trainer, and then we did the Master Nutritionist certification through ISSA. Worked as a personal trainer, nutritionist, life coach from 2003 to 2012. Yeah, about 2004. Yeah, 2012, and then that's when I switched gears and opened up a popcorn shop because I just found more business in that. That's my background. I spent the majority of my adult life was been kind of in and out of being vegan or vegetarian. Definitely had better lifestyle when I was vegetarian. So I learned a lot about that. Some levels of herbalism, not a lot, because I always just had good herbalists around me. So that's from the knowledge point that I'm coming from and just by reading. But, and I don't get sick. But Ernestine, from my understanding, your story is amazing. So I want to hear yours and your perspective of things, and we're going to talk about that and answer people's questions. So let's get a little background on you.
Okay. From my experience as far as dealing with cancer, it was September 18, 2018. I don't remember the day that I found a lump in my breast.
Hmm.
So I ran to my son. I told my son to feel my breast, because I felt the lump, because I thought I was going crazy. He said, "Yeah, mom, it's a lump." I said, "Okay." I went to the doctor, and they said, "Yeah, it's a lump." Sent me to a specialist, and it took months for an appointment to come. So mind you, it was like a little peanut size
Hmm.
when it first started. By the time I got to the doctor, it was about the size of a nickel.
No.
So the type of cancer I had was triple negative cancer, breast cancer. So that's the most aggressive cancer to ever have. It's very rare. A lot of people don't have that cancer, and they don't. I don't smoke. I don't do. I was around people that smoking. I don't. I don't know how I got it. And but when the doctor told me I had cancer, it struck a nerve and it hurt me. It was like a death sentence. When somebody said you got cancer and then they're so nonchalant about it. Oh, you got cancer.
Wow.
You don't
They were
tell
just
me what I'm
nonchalant.
supposed to do. Yeah, very nonchalant. Like, yeah, you got cancer. You're
Wow.
on stage 3, stage 4 cancer. We don't care. Oh, we're gonna put you on chemo. That's the first thing they say, and that's because that's money. We get $10,000
Mm,
every time you go to an
that's
oncologist to
interesting.
go to get an infusion. So I did do chemo 3 times when I realized it wasn't doing nothing but making the cancer more aggressive. So now it was the size of a mountain. Like you imagine a mountain on top of a mountain, so it was building up.
Right.
And I told them I'm not doing chemo no more. So they was upset with me. Why you not doing chemo? Because every 2 weeks when I'm doing chemo, every 2 weeks I couldn't eat. By the time I get ready to eat, it's time to do another infusion. So I said I can't do it. I was losing 2 or 3 pounds a week. So I was just really going downhill. And then on top of that, I got hit by a car. So imagine the car rolled over my leg. So I had to deal with a broken leg and cancer at the same time. So my immune system was shocked. So, and I wanted to give up. I really wanted to give up and die because I couldn't function. I was sick. I can't walk. I was at my ends with until my granddaughter, 5 years old at the time, said, "Grandma, you're not going away. You're going to live." As soon as she said that, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to live and I'm going to fight." So I told my doctor, "I'm not doing no more chemo. I'm going to do it my way." So me and my daughter did the research about triple negative cancer because you can't go by what doctors say because they'll tell you A, B, C, and D, and because they see you as a dollar sign, they want you to keep coming back.
Hmm.
So no, I went natural, and I went and I found out my IP6 through my stepmother,
You found
and this IP6 is IP6 supplement,
Oh, okay.
right?
All
So
right.
this is a cancer fighter.
All right. What's
I
in that?
don't. It got different minerals, but child, it's a lot of minerals, but it works. It saved my life. I'm trying to tell you, and not just for cancer. Anybody can take this because it builds your immune system. Because your white blood cell is the army. If you don't have no army to protect your body, what's gonna happen? It dies,
It dies.
right? So once your immune system goes, you die. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's the facts. When your immune system dies, you die. You have no more white blood cells to help fight viruses, diseases, anything that's coming. Because what did Dr. Sebi say? CB, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but you know the doctor that they killed off.
Oh, yeah, Dr.
Right.
Sadie.
Dr. Sebi, right. So, and
I'm always just saying Sadie, CB.
CB
We know who we talking
Sebi,
about.
yeah,
You said it,
right, but
and it's
yeah, but
EP6,
and he
right?
was right. hmm And he was saying if your body's alkaline, no sickness can live in an alkaline body, which is true. But what my story is with the cancer,
Right.
I took this IP6 right along with vitamin C, D3, K12, and what was another one? was another vitamin, and I took it regularly. So when I took the IP6, you take 5 in the morning, 5 at night, and I did that while I was doing chemo. So now let me tell you about the chemo. Going to do my infusion, and I'm in the next room with somebody else in the other room, and their white blood cell is going down. They're not understanding why mine's not going down. They tell me not to take my supplement because it's interfering with the chemo. So when I hear the other people in the next, in the
So they
next,
want you to get
like
off
infusion is another room here.
off
They
your
wanted me to get off
supplements
my.
to take your chemo.
I was doing chemo, but because I was doing chemo, my white blood cells did not go down. The count did not go down. They was up, and they was like, "Well, how's your count up?" And this person right here next to you, their count is low. They couldn't understand it until they asked me. I said, "Well, I'm taking a supplement IP6. Well, we want you to stop." I'm not stopping.
So they wanted you to stop doing something that was keeping your white blood cells up, which is something that you actually need in order to defend your body against
Right,
all
right.
diseases.
Yes. And
Wow.
I said, I said, no, I'm not doing that. So that was the last day I took the chemo. I did it 3 times. And then I said, I'm not taking it no more. Just give me my surgery.
Right.
So now it got to the point where the chemo made it where they had to take my breast. They had to take my breast, and then they made me another one. Now the day of surgery, the doctor was really nasty because I didn't do no more chemo because she lost money out of pocket. So they get a kickback
Yeah, that's money.
every time right. So she lost that money because I'm not doing chemo no more. So now the day of surgery, she said, well, first they wanted me to sign my breast over to them, the remaining tissue of the tumor, so they could study on it. I said, no, I'm not doing that. You could burn it for all I care. No, you're not doing it. But don't you care about other people? Like they didn't what you didn't care about me. You told me, oh, you don't do chemo. When you see my breast, you just kept saying go to chemo. I'm not doing that. So I'm not following you. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
The day of surgery, she said, well, if you don't do radiation, we're gonna take all your lymph nodes in your arm. You know what that do?
No,
Okay, when they take all the
yeah, go
you
ahead.
take when they take all your lymph nodes in your arm where the breast where the cancer is, it makes you ever seen people with the arms that got one big arm
Yeah.
because their lymphatic system is messed up
Mm-hmm.
because the fluid in the arm don't have nowhere to go, so it's just settled in the arm. She was
Right.
gonna do that to me, so I had to think quite fast and say, okay, yeah, I'll do radiation so that she don't take my lymph nodes, all my lymph nodes, because she took some. She didn't take all. Um, and she was very angry at me because I would not give my breast to her to sign over to her so they could study.
Yeah, and all she's gonna do is take that breast that tissue and sell it to a lab and make some money
She's
off of it
studying. Right,
for them
right.
to because she's not gonna do the study,
No,
but she's gonna sell your body to somebody else
yeah,
so that they can do the study and then they get the money. So it's all about a money game
it
for
is.
them.
It is. And it is. And then, but you know what it is because I work in the medical field. My background, I was an ex-police officer. I started as a 911 dispatcher, and then I went into the medical field. So I do medical coding, medical building, and I check for fraud.
Right.
So when they started talking medical terminology, I was spitting back at them, like, well, how you know that? What type of job you had? I said, I work in the medical field just like you.
Mm-hmm.
So then they was really mad because, okay, so after I had my 12-hour surgery, went home, came back for my final exam, I was cancer free. So it was three doctors and an oncologist. I'm sorry, and like oncologist and me in the room. So that's 4 doctors and me. They ganged me up against the wall and they said, "You need to take radiation." I said, "No, I'm not taking radiation." Oh, the cancer might come back. So now I'm gonna take my chances. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Then they say,
Try to
they
get you
said,
into fear, try to scare you.
right, to scare me. And then now in my head, now you sound like a drug pusher, because now you try to push this radiation on me, and I'm like, you telling me about radiation, chemotherapy. Why you not telling me about vitamin C drips?
Hmm.
I got them so mad that the lady actually came out and told me the truth. If we gave everybody vitamin C, we would not have a business. So then I looked at her, and she realized what she was saying. She said, "Oh, it's not just me. It's with the other doctors and stuff. Like, I know what you said, lady. I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Because now it's a business. That's a cancer
I mean,
is
it's
a
a
big
valid point
business,
though.
right?
It's so much cheaper to do it that way, and it
Yeah,
actually is more effective,
yeah.
but yet it can't make the money off.
They can't make the money
There's
up
no way they're
because
gonna
it's
make.
natural, right? So now, like, so when she said that, and I looked at her, she's like, "Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way." Yes, you did, but I got you so frustrated that you told the truth.
Yeah,
So like because of our color, they think that we don't know.
right.
When I walked out the room, another doctor pulled me to the side and said to me, "What's your profession?" And I said, I'm a medical retriever. I retrieve charts and I check for medical fraud." She's like, "Well, you're in the wrong field because you should have been a doctor."
It ain't too late.
I'm 50. I'm older than you. I think you said I seen that interview
It's
you did
never
with
it's never too late.
Kevin. My attention span with reading them medical books, and I got medical books here. No, thank you. I don't want to do it. It was hard.
But
No.
most people have that. They worship the white coat. You know, people will see
Yeah.
that white coat on somebody and they think, if I walked around the hospital with a white coat on and start telling people how to just to eat their way out of diseases, people would take that as the gospel truth, right?
Right.
Because they worship the white coat. They don't
Right.
they don't think that people can study and know how to handle these things themselves. So let me ask you a question. What were you eating during that time frame? Like what type of foods were
Um.
you eating?
At that time frame, I wasn't eating nothing, honestly, because I couldn't keep nothing down because of the chemo.
Mm,
And then when I was eating, it was very little. I was losing 3 pounds a week. So like I was just dropping weight. And when I did start picking up eating, I ate a lot of greens. You're supposed to eat a lot of greens. That helps fight
mhm.
cancer too.
Right.
Um, anything green.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
definitely the leafy greens,
yeah,
and green
anything
vegetables
green. Yeah.
are big cancer fighters. I know for a while I just had like this little. Nope, I didn't. I guess because I was dealing with people at the time frame who had cancer, and I was killing soursop. Like
Yes, yes, yes.
I was
Sour
killing
sop
some
too, but I never
soursop
know
off.
about sour sop.
Yeah, because soursop that right there is a huge cancer fighter. And
Right.
like I tried to tell a friend of mine who had pancreatic cancer about what to do before, but she didn't want to listen. And just right now, I got a cousin who doesn't want to listen.
Yeah,
But
because they believe their doctors. Yeah,
right, and
they
they going to get
the
all this.
doctor tell me not to do that, but the doctor wants you to die because you're more worth dead and sick than healthy.
Yeah, because I think cancer, most cancers have radiation, chemotherapy has a 98% failure rate. Why
Yeah,
that? Like, why would we consistently allow for something that has a 98% failure rate to still be our primary mode of fighting a certain disease or a certain issue? That makes
but yeah,
no sense.
it don't. And honestly, the doctors have no control because big pharma push it. Because now when I was in that room with them, they sound like drug dealers to me. Because I'm here, you got to do this, you got to do that, and I'm here, I'm saying, oh, y'all drug pushers. Yeah. And they looked at me, they, no, that's not it. I'm like, yeah, you are.
Oh, they very much are.
Yeah,
Um,
they are.
when we was coming up and I was investigating med schools because I was looking at being an anesthesiologist. And I
Hmm.
remember seeing where the average doctor only takes a class for 3 hours, like 3 literal hours, not credit hours, but 3 literal hours on health and nutrition, on eating, on diet. But everything
Right.
else is geared towards either you're providing a prescription or you want to give them a surgery. Those are the two
Right.
things. That's all they care. That's all they are focused on when they go through med school. And when that's drilled in their heads, when they get out, and then they go through their internships, then all they want to do is that's all they're hearing from their superiors is uh,
Surgery. Right.
surgeries and prescriptions, because that's where the money is at. There's no money in the cure, and there's no money in giving people what's needed in order to live without having to come back to the doctor. Right?
Right. And you know, I tried to sue the doctor, but my lawyer, nobody wanted to touch the case because he said, "Oh, it's trial and error." But you know, so once me and my daughter did the research on the type of cancer that I had was triple negative cancer, and chemo does nothing but aggravate it. These doctors know. So if you know, why are you giving me chemo? Give me vitamin C, give me something, but they can't do it because they lose their license.
Oh yeah.
They'll lose their practice. So, and once I realized that, I said, no, I'm gonna do what I have to do. Now, the day when I was supposed to go back to work, and I went back to the doctor to get my final clearance to say, okay, I can go back to work. You know what they put in my letter?
Mm-hmm.
New York Presbyterian Hospital. You know what they put on my letter? Oh, she can go back to work, but she refused radiation and chemo.
They're
Why would
trying.
you tell my employer that? So my employer don't bring me back to work. So you know, so they, oh, you too sick to work, so we got to let you go. They were trying to sabotage me. I don't know.
I don't know the laws up there, and you said New York.
Yeah, New York. Yeah.
I don't know the laws up there and how it works, but oftentimes, if they can say that you refuse some type of treatment, then your company doesn't have to pay certain parts of your medical experience expenses and all that kind of stuff. They
Oh.
can like put you out of their healthcare system, but it depends on the state. Different states are going to have different rules when it comes.
Oh, okay. You know, I was like either. I just feel like they was trying to. Well, if she don't, then maybe the employer can make her
You breaking up.
back to work.
Yeah, you broke
I
up,
don't
then
know
you
what
went out and came back in.
happened. Yeah, I didn't touch it.
The New York cell towers. That's what happened.
Yeah. Oh, unless I'm telling the
Yeah.
truth, and they like, oh, dog, you done said the hospital name, Jesus.
Got to get her out of here.
Get out of here. You
But now,
know.
and see, that's crazy because a lot of these like I became a student, not a student per se, like direct student, but I started studying a lot of what the Dr. Savy was talking about. Then I started meeting people who are herbalists, and it's like there's a guy on here, LaQuinn. There are so many foods that you eat that could help that can keep you away from disease or to prevent you from having one. I mean, can
Right.
prevent you having one or overcome the issues of diseases.
Right.
Most people don't realize your immune system, which I think is either is that your lymph system or your lymphatic system. That's your lymphatic
The,
system.
the lymphatic system with the flow
It's
of your fluids.
it spend most of this time fighting toxins that we put in our stomach, meaning that it's fighting the foods that's in our stomach and our intestines instead of
Right.
fighting other diseases within your body. Uh,
Yeah.
so when we're putting in a bunch of meat, putting in a bunch of refined sugars and breads and things of that nature, you're taking, like you're saying, your military, right? You're taking your military system of fighting against intruders in your body.
Right.
And instead of them going out there and fighting the whole battle, fighting the war rather, they trying to fight one battle that's in your stomach, just one battle, trying to all the toxicity in there. Uh, I remember if have you ever read Napoleon Hill's books?
I read it, but I don't remember all of it.
So
Yeah.
even in
A
Think and
while
Grow
back.
Rich, Outwitting the Devil, 16 Laws of 16 Principles of Leadership, and all those books, amazingly, this man was back in the 1930s, and he was telling people that if you clean your gut, you will exist in a healthier state. That there's enough toxicity in your gut that you can kill, 1,000 people. Like if you drew it out, the toxicity out your stomach, you
Hmm.
can poison like 1,000 people just doing that.
But there's a lady that is on TikTok and Facebook, but she's really good, and she always talk about castor oil, so detox your liver, and it really works. So you get a raw detox castor oil, and you put it in your belly button, and
Mm-hmm.
it helps you go to the bathroom and it detox. And then you have detox your kidneys.
Mm.
That helps too. Your liver and your kidneys. So
And you
I've
should.
been doing that too.
And actually, like Dr. Sabi teaches that you detox your entire body.
Right.
Each organ, your organs all don't have the same pH levels.
Right.
But when you detox your entire body, you get your body gets into its full pH levels all over for every organism. I mean, or every organ in your body, and that's when you start to get
Right.
to optimal health. Um, and that's what
And
we
that's
don't
why.
we don't want to we don't. It takes time, and effort to do all
And
that.
do.
You know?
And that's why this right here, just like you say, the white blood cell is just like a backup system. Because what happened with my cancer, it was set in my breast, and I'm so happy that it didn't spread anywhere else. It was like locked in. So what happened was, I think it just kept it right there. It
Right.
kept it right there in that place. Also, when they did the surgery, they took it all out. It was right there. I was stage 3, stage going on stage 4, cancer.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was on my way out the door. So that's been 5 years ago.
Okay. So you've been victorious for 5 years. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing now is to keep putting your body to keep your body in that system.
Yes,
Right.
I take it every day. I take this every day and my vitamins every day. I haven't never caught the COVID. I never took the jab. I never. So another incident. Recently when I came back from Florida visiting my cousin, I went in diabetic coma. My
Mm.
sugar was 800. So I was in here passing out, and my grandson, my son, and my daughter took me to the hospital. When they took me to the hospital in Brooklyn, because I live in Brooklyn, and they asked, never had COVID. My daughter said no. They asked her twice, did she never had COVID? No, she never had COVID. So they tested me. I was negative. They put me in the room with a COVID person.
Really?
Yes, they put me in the room with a COVID
Wow.
person. The person was
They straight
coughing my
trying to give
brains
you COVID.
out. They was trying to give me COVID. And they come in every 4 hours to take my
Mhm.
blood. Every 4 hours for the whole day. I was there for 5 days. So every 4 hours they come and take my blood. And I'm like, why are y'all coming every 4 hours? That person, the first person I went in the room with her, and she was there before me. She left. Then they put another one that was worse than her, coughing up and everything else, and she had COVID. And they still was coming to test my blood, and I guess they were trying to see why she's not catching COVID. Then I really got worried when they sent a pastor, the hospital pastor,
Mhm.
come to talk to me, and I'm like, why are you here? Oh, this our job. No, I'm not dying. I don't need to talk to you. So, um, I don't need to talk to you. It's nice seeing you, but I don't need to talk to you. I'm not dying. So
Right.
why would he send a church pastor? What do you call them people that come to churches, whatever,
Right.
a priest come into
Yes,
my
please.
room? Right. So then now I'm like, now I gotta be smart. So every time the doctor, nurse, or whoever came in my room, I was on the phone with my son and my daughter. Oh, they doing A, B, and C, D to me. This, that, and the other. Now, mind you, because now they got my record that I had cancer. So you got to watch out for hospitals, because I think they was trying to take me out also, because now when you have cancer, they already know you cannot put no needles and no blood pressure on the side where you have cancer. Why were they trying to put a blood pressure and needle in my arm where I had the cancer at?
Mm.
Because they trying to fix one thing and sabotage something else. And if they would have did that, I would have had problems with my arm, with the fluid in my arm.
Yeah, because
So
it's
I had
yeah, it's like when they get you in there, let's see how much we can get out of her. Especially
right,
when they see that you got insurance, they know they're gonna
yeah,
get their money. Then they're like, okay, we got to get as much as we can out of this person
right,
because all she is we got to like squeeze as much as we can. And trying to give you COVID, you going in there for diabetes, that bed makes more money with COVID than it makes more money with
Yeah.
diabetes.
Yeah, I think
We got
that
to
they
get
was trying to infect me. Yeah.
yeah, and putting you in a room. See,
They put me in a room with a person with COVID. When I asked that person, is this person got COVID? Because the way she was coughing and stuff like that. No, she don't have no, but she got COVID.
man, you
But
didn't
then they put,
did you document it?
no, I didn't document, but I told my daughter.
I'd
My daughter
assume.
was in the room, and then they wouldn't let my daughter come back upstairs because she went home to change clothes and come back. Oh, and this was the time when they needed people that was unvaccinated to
Uh-huh.
cure the vaccinated.
Mm.
That's why they was taking my blood too. That's why I'm figuring this is what's happening. And will start asking questions. And why y'all keep coming up here every 4 hours? Y'all, why you need my blood like that? Are we doing testing for what? There's no testing. So now I'm asking questions. Now they're getting aggravated. Like, why you always on the phone? Because why you always coming in here?
Yeah.
If anything happening to me, my family gonna know what's happening so they can sue you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
we need to know.
know,
We need to be this
right.
needs to be documented. Like,
Right, because now you won't let nobody come see me. They won't let my daughter come back upstairs. Oh, is she vaccinated? No, she's not vaccinated. So they won't let her come upstairs to see me or stay with me.
yeah,
So they're trying to keep me. Yeah,
and then with you having you never been vaccinated, you don't have COVID, never got COVID, and you in that room with this person who got COVID, they want to see if your blood got like antibodies against COVID, so they
right.
chemicalize that and make them some money off giving people vaccines based on your blood,
Uh,
trying to help people who got COVID, but keep them there for a long enough period time frame that they can get that money for it as well.
Well, I was there for 5 days. I got enough blood out of me. After the fourth day, I'm like, look, no, you cannot take my blood no more. Because I told my dad. My dad said, tell him no. Can't take my blood no more. No. Then they kicked me out.
Yeah.
They kicked me out. Like, well, you got to go home now because you now you fussing. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fuss because y'all keep coming in here taking 4 or 5 tubes of blood, and it wasn't no little tubes. It was got gigantic tubes like this.
Mm-hmm.
No, why you need my why? No,
Yeah, no, they want they want that money. That's all about money. That's that
it
whole
was all
scenario.
about money. Yeah, and to see, like I said at that time, we froze. We froze. Hello, hello. We talking some facts now. They cutting us off. Hello.
Yeah, like the medical industry is like, oh, we're gonna get them. We're gonna
Oh
stop
yeah,
them.
we she telling it all now. Like, you see, if I can help one person on this line, I was like, look, my advice to you, whatever type of cancer you have, do your own research. Don't
Mm-hmm.
believe these doctors. Don't believe these doctors because they want to tell you what they want to tell you, and you don't believe them. After I had found out what type of cancer I had, and I found out me and other people that had the same type of cancer, and they died.
Right.
And they asked me, well, how did the people, their family member, what did you do that you had the same type of cancer and that person dead? Why you not dead?
What do you tell them?
I told them I didn't listen to the doctor. I said, I had to do my own research.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what me and my daughter did. We did our own research. And then when I find out the chemo wasn't doing anything, why you keep giving me chemo and it's not doing anything but aggravating my tumor? When you could have gave me a DNC scrape and take the thing out right away.
Yeah. And that's the thing. People are so afraid to do research and look at the research that goes against the medical establishment. You know, if we know that history is written by the victors,
Right.
So we also know that economics is controlled by the ones who are making the most money. It's always going to
Right.
come to money. So the doctors and the labs and all these people, they're not focused on curing people. They just want to manage your health. That's why it's called managed healthcare. They just want to
Right.
manage it. They want to
Right.
keep you sick and then consistently manage your healthcare. We have to look at the opposite. They tried to charge Dr. Sabi with like malpractice and fraud, and he went to the U.S. Supreme Court, proved that he had cured these people of cancer and HIV and
Right.
herpes and all these other diseases, diabetes. But then mysteriously, he gets put into a prison in, I believe, Arizona, a jail in Arizona, and then he
And
dies.
died and got died in the jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna die of
Yeah.
pneumonia in jail. That's
Yeah.
a, I'm
That
not.
was a setup.
I don't
That was a
normally go for
setup.
conspiracy theories, but that is
But it was a
bullshit,
setup. But
right?
mind you, they was trying to buy him out.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever he was doing, they was trying to buy him out, and he said no.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And then we're gonna throw you in court. Now all these people came and witnessed and testified, say he did this and he did that, and he won the case. So then now, he goes to jail and dies or whatever
They said he
because he
died of
had a
pneumonia.
cold. Yeah, he had a cold or pneumonia, whatever.
Yeah.
And but Lord, oh well, protect me because I'm telling my story. I'm telling my story because I want people to know. Don't trust these doctors. Yeah, I
No.
mean, it's good. Go get the notice. When you heal, you go to them and they like, oh, I don't know how you did that. That was a miracle. Whatever. Just let them know. Yeah, okay, I did my own thing. But you can go to your doctor and get checked out, but do your own thing too. But that's what I did
Yeah. To
because
me,
I would not be here if
yeah,
I
the,
didn't.
the doctor is only good to tell me what's going on.
Right.
I go see the doctor. You telling me that this is the problem? All right, bet. I'm gonna go solve it myself. I'm
Right.
not solving it with your chemicals, and I'm not solving it with your
No.
surgeries.
No.
Surgery. If I break something, if I break a bone or something gets toxic. You do surgeries for what surgeries are good for. I'm not saying all surgeries are bad,
Right.
but as far as curing me, you're not curing anything.
No, you're just pacifying it. You just putting a band-aid on it. Oh, you know, and then with radiation, okay, so now surgery is over. Now you want me to do radiation. Now you want to burn me from the inside out. Why you want to give me something? You gave me a new breast and you want to burn it? No, radiation is just as bad as cancer. I mean chemo. Because it's not burning bad cells, it's burning all the cells. So
Right.
now with chemo, they tell you, oh, your hair just fall out, this, that. No, you turn black. Your turns black, like you have thrush, like babies have thrush.
Right.
Um, you could go blind. You could go crippled. Chemo is really horrible. Now I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
saying some people say chemo helped them, but it didn't help me. And I'm going by what made me feel better, helped me get better. But chemo wasn't the one for me. Some people say chemo helped them, but when chemo attacks the cell, it don't attack just the bad cell, it attacks all the cells. And all the cells, good cells, bad cells, it wipes out everything. So that's why your health go down. And when your immune system goes down, and that's the key is your immune system. Keep your immune system strong because it can fight anything. And that's what
You breaking up.
Dr. CB was saying.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit, but I get that you say that you got to keep your immune system strong,
Yeah,
and
right,
that's the thing. Every animal on the planet, every organism on the planet, is built to survive and thrive.
right,
We introduce chemicals into that natural environment that destroys our ability to heal ourselves. Our bodies are built to last way longer than just these what average age now is like 70, 80 years old, not 80, something like that is the average
if
lifetime.
that's the true age, because we're not even living in our true age. This is they changed the time. The U.S. whoever they changed the time from the time that we used to have because I think my son was saying another place they still in 2015 on the calendar, and we're in 2023. So the government or the U.S. changed the time system. So we're in a different time system where we're supposed to be.
You are freaking.
So we don't know how. We really don't know how
Yeah,
old we really are.
yeah. But the fact that, but what I'm getting at is that you go outside, like what we call weeds, are actually medicine. Like though they have certain aspects of
The
them that helps our body.
the dandelions, yeah,
Right? Like I take dandelion root, it clears out your bladder. It doesn't make you go to the bathroom any earlier, but your bladder will be clean, right? Which is pushing all the toxins out of my system, out of my
right.
filtration system, and helps to keep your kidneys clean. Um, you eating the leafy greens, eating the dark colored fruits and berries. All those things are designed to help your body to be as strong as it possibly can, and as healthy as it possibly can. There's always the person who's going to develop, we are born with cancer cells in our body. It's a natural
Yes,
thing, but they don't become active. And some people will become active no matter what they do. But most people, it's not designed to become an active cell in your body, you know. But the more we make our bodies toxic, the more it opens our body up. It opens the opportunity for those cancer cells, you know, to to start living, to start growing and replicating themselves. So these doctors are not going to tell us that. Society is not going to tell us that. They're going to feed us fake food. They're going to put all
and
kinds
do
of
things
chemicals in there.
right, and do things like now we just had the alert system. Now remember we had the alert system. They said it would be three different frequencies going on at one time.
Mm-hmm.
5G towers. No matter what you do, you turn the TV off, you turn it on, or it still come through.
Yeah.
What do you think that's about? That's about our cells break down. Because them 5Gs will break down the cells. This is from when I'm gathering, break down the cells. And that if from 6 months from now, you start seeing people getting really, really sick, then you know it was because of the alert.
And I wouldn't doubt it, because the thing about it, earlier in the live earlier today, we talked about like extinction events, like how we evolve as humans. And I
Right.
was saying that we would be better off and hopefully go away from this false technology that we have. Like all the technologies that the majority of the technologies we develop today are counterproductive towards the earth surviving and us walking and being in harmony with the earth. But evidently,
Right.
by the builders of the pyramids in Giza, the Sphinx, and some of these other monuments that are earthenworks, they built
Hmm.
based on earth energy, which is what we should be going back to, is to figure out how to use energy based on earth energies, like how Tesla used the pyramid of Giza to figure out how to create free electricity, right?
Yeah.
So you have a more natural based electricity that's not, you don't have all these wires hanging over neighborhoods and playgrounds emitting radiation. We don't have these televisions and all these other things that are emitting radiation and all these sorts of things, but things that are natural to the earth, which we are part of and in sync with, so that we function better. I fully hope that we could go back to that type of system. That's why when people live off the grid, I don't blame them, because
I
they're
don't
putting.
blame them either. Yeah, I don't blame them because that's what I wanted to do too, and to live off the grid. But right now, because we're not around a lot of grass, I bought a grounding mat off of Amazon. They got grounding sheets that you plug the cord into the wall, and it's a healing power. It helps with the cells. It's a grounding mat
Mm.
on Amazon, and it really works. It takes
Okay.
away aches and pains. Um, and you just look on Amazon or Tumo or Tumi or something like TEMU. They be having it too, and they not much money, like $22, 25, depends on what you want to buy, and it helps because if you're not around a lot of grass and you can't put your feet on the grass, you use your grounding mat and you sleep with it, or you can put it on your body,
Mm-hmm.
for 20, 30 minutes or something like that. I put it on my bed and I sleep with mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one, but all right. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
You
go
get
out
on
and I just
Amazon.
I ground on the earth, but I understand, you live in Brooklyn, you might not have much earth.
You know, they don't build they building buildings on top of buildings. No, oh really, please, there's not enough grass to go around. So that's why I bought a grounding mat. So
Yeah, I just go out in the backyard or the front yard, side yard.
you're lucky you can walk barefoot in your grass, and you need to get connected to the ground because that's healing power.
Right. And like
So
one thing that I do is I sleep to frequencies at night. So, I'll sleep to, depending upon where I'm at, mentally and mentally, emotionally, and physically. I'll sleep to either 432 or some, 930, 969, 969, but I'll sleep, or 369 frequencies. Um, and they'll play all night, and let them play all night while I'm sleeping. And I noticed a big,
okay.
now one of my cousins, so did this family trip, and he always had sleep apnea real bad with the mask and everything. So he forgot, though. He forgot to bring the mask. So me and him are in the same room. We go to sleep, and I start playing my tones. And when he wakes up in the morning, he was like, "Bro, that's the best night's sleep I've ever had." He was like, "I didn't have any problems." So then he starts playing it through his system through the house, the speaker system through the house, and the
Hmm.
whole house go to sleep. And
Oh, that's so
within
cool.
two
Yeah.
years, he never had to sleep with that. He hasn't had to sleep with that sleep apnea. He went and did the sleep apnea test, and it was like, well, we're not detecting it. Like, what's going on with you? What happened? And he
Oh,
told
that's
me
good.
he just slept with the frequencies, and they was trying to figure out, like, no, what else did you do? It can't be because you just slept to some frequencies.
You said 396. I'm gonna write that down and put on my Echo device. Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. There's 741. Uh, uh, yeah, there's a bunch of frequencies, and each frequency is designed for a different, uh, to have different effects.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try it tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a great thing to do, and it's one of those things that I refuse to not sleep to it. I'm going to sleep with this. It's like, uh, the funny thing, like when me and Angelina first started dating, I was like, "Look, I sleep to these tones. If that's gonna bother you, this ain't gonna work. But I'm sleeping to these tones. When you put some,
Where is she? I wanted to see her.
you didn't see her creep by a little while ago.
I seen a little shadow behind you.
She she's doing some hot yoga right now.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
She in the gym doing some hot yoga. So, and she was messing with me because she was like, "How long are you gonna be on that tonight?" I said, "I don't know. You know me. I talk forever and all this kind of stuff." I said, "I'm not Ernestine gonna be on there." She was like, "You just trying to get out of doing the hot yoga?" I was like, "No, no, no, not that."
You trying to use me as an excuse? Don't get me.
I don't like hot yoga.
Oh, don't blame. I'm sorry. Don't do that. Don't get
Yeah,
me.
I don't like hot yoga. But yeah,
Anybody got any questions though? Anything
oh yeah,
like
they've been saying some stuff. They've
I
been.
can't see it because I'm on this thing. I can't
Oh, you
see
can't
it.
see the comments. Oh
No.
no, they've been talking about how jacked up they did you at the hospital. How it's about business. Right now, we're talking about Valentino is giving out some of the frequencies of 432, 528, 741. Uh, and like 432 frequency is the frequency that the Earth. So like 432 is the frequency that the Earth is when it's perfectly fine. When like the Earth is in a good state, it's 432. When the Earth is healing, it if any area of the Earth is healing, it vibrates at 528 is the frequency that it's at. So
Okay.
when I don't feel well, like if I feel like something is about to come on me, like let's say I go and I eat some ice cream and I feel like the mucus is trying to get at me, I'll sleep to
Yeah.
528 to make sure I don't have any problems with that.
I'm still here. I just hit the thing to see the comments. But I don't know if I exit out. I don't want to X you out.
No, you still there. I still see you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So I don't, frequencies became a big deal for me because it was a doctor. I think he was up in New York way back in the day. Though, it's before any of us was born. But his name is Royal Rife. It's a Dr. Royal Rife, and it is said that he created a machine, a frequency machine, and he used that frequency machine to cure, it's either 16 or 18 people with cancer back in like
wow.
this is early 1900s, right? And as soon as he published his studies, the AMA ransacked his office, destroyed all his work, destroyed his machine, and pretty much just killed the man. Now, I can't say they actually killed him, but he died all of a sudden. But it was a Dr. Royal Rife, and that technology, nothing about, if they did pull any information, if they kept any information, they sure as hell didn't have put it on the shelf somewhere.
Well, I believe they probably kept it and used it for whatever they want to use it for, the demise,
Mm-hmm.
to like the frequencies now that's going on with the Wi-Fi's and stuff like that, with the 5Gs. That's, remember when COVID first came out and they found people dead in their house and they don't know how they died.
Yeah, no.
That could be a possibility.
Yeah. So my bad. I said that they killed him, but they didn't kill him back then. He was born in 1888. He died in 1971, which is when I was born, in 71. But yeah, he created a machine that cured cancer just by using frequencies, like no surgeries, no chemo or anything like that. Just, and this was in the 1920s. And all of a sudden, they took away all his stuff.
Wow.
Right. And let me see if I can find this little information on him.
If I hit this X, I'm gonna exit out.
I have no idea.
I ain't trying to do it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I see the chat line. I see you in the background. She said, someone said, yes, I've seen those grounding mats. They really work.
They see what?
Somebody was saying, what's her name?
Oh, I think,
Aladdin, yeah.
yeah, the
Truman,
mats.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
awesome, man, and they put you to sleep too. I mean, you put your feet on it because you have to be barefooted, and you go to sleep in 2.3 seconds. I'm not lying. It puts you out.
oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Now I know this. They so can the and a the Cancer Research UK. They, they're not saying they don't have. They just basically saying they don't have enough information about Dr. Rice's machine because the information was taken away, and so people have been trying to replicate it. Um, but they are not sure. They can't verify nor denounce it because Dr. Rice's own papers of his claims, they did have those, but he is like, that's how this industry is though. It's not bent on, it's bent on keeping that kind of information away from people.
Right, because healthy people don't make business. They want you sick.
Yeah.
I was reading something that they're trying to rush to 2030, and they're saying that they have failed the mission. So now they're trying to rush it. So I think that's where this 5Gs and the alerts come into play. Because watch what I say, in a couple of months, you're going to see a lot of sick people, and they don't know where, all of a sudden they got this, they got that. You don't know why. It could be from the frequencies from the towers.
Yeah, there's no telling. I was So I spent like a split second working in the clinical research, working as a clinical research associate, which you
Mm-hmm.
monitor basically monitoring clinical trials. And the COVID vaccine was a clinical trial. They don't know what the hell the results of that is going to be. Usually in a clinical trial, a clinical trial takes anywhere up to like 15, 20 years to conduct one. And
Right.
the COVID vaccine didn't get any of that time frame. No. They literally, but they were honest in saying that when they started letting more and more people take the vaccine, they were telling you that this is phase one, or this is phase two, or phase three. Phase three, after phase three is ended, that's when you can start giving something out to a larger general population. And then phase four is when
Right.
you can really get it out there, and you can slap a name on it, put it out there to sell, the whole deal. But when they first started with this vaccine, that was phase one, which is
Yeah.
usually not given to the wide masses of public, but they were still giving it to a large range of people. So it was basically a clinical trial on steroids of how they did that. Now,
But wasn't it that not too many people were signing up for it, and then they start mandating it? Now, if you don't do it, you lose your job, or you can't go to school, or you can't go to this theater, to force you to do it. Now, when in this vaccine, they have all types of stuff in it, and one of them is HIV. Now, all of a sudden, HIV just started popping back up again. Now they advertising
mhm.
on TV, HIV. Oh, get your HIV meds, this, that, and the other. Why? Because they're giving you stuff in the jab for it to activate.
Yeah, right. And I think the next big issue that people are going to have is going to be something related to the fact that those people who got vaccinated, there will be something that happens, something will come out, and it will affect those people more so than anybody else. Like COVID was very
Right.
targeting. If you already had pre-existing conditions, that's who it targeted. Uh, it wasn't targeting healthy people who didn't have pre-existing, because it just pushed your pre-existing condition. Now
Right. And
they can make something can be made that could target people who got the vaccine. Now I know talking anti-vaccine to get you in trouble on these platforms, but I don't care. The thing about it is that's just the reality of it. You know,
right, but that's why they was being bad mouthing people that wasn't taking it. Oh, you need to be following, you know, for the it's good for the others, or something like good for the good, or whatever. You're supposed to be taking this, and
yeah,
no, I will not take it. No, I'm not taking it.
yeah, that was the dumbest argument. Like, you not taking it is you not caring about the person next to you. I'm like, hold on, the vaccine don't prevent you from getting COVID, nor does it
Right,
cure COVID. So how is me not having the vaccine not caring about the person next to me? You can still get it, and
right. And then they say, "Oh, you get it, you won't get it just as bad. You
yeah,
won't get it just as bad." But you know what
which
was harming the people in the hospital when they was lying them on the back and putting that thing down their throat. And so now it starts from the throat. So now when
mhm.
you start feeling a tingling sensation in your throat, you drink something hot, kill it right away.
Yeah.
You drink you some tea. Don't let it rest in your throat because it starts to spread.
And then Aladdin is saying that they were saying the unvaccinated is why people were getting COVID, but that's some
Right,
straight, but that's bull, because the people there were like in this last rash of COVID that happened maybe a few months back, almost the majority of people who was coming in with it were people who were vaccinated, and throughout
right.
throughout it, the majority of people who were coming in were people who were vaccinated. It was not the unvaccinated that's coming in with this thing, you know.
Right,
But
but it was making us as a bad guy because we wouldn't take it.
mm-hmm,
Oh, you need to take this because you won't be allowed to go to the supermarket, or you're not allowed to go in the movie theaters.
yeah, and that was
You yeah,
I wouldn't care. I postmates and stream everything. But the thing that we got to be mindful of now, though, no matter what they're doing with the signals, messing with our frequencies, is that we have to take it upon ourselves to take care of ourselves, right? That's why I sleep to these different frequencies. That's why when I study, or if I go and I'm reading something, then if I'm like, let's say I'm gonna take some time and we're gonna sit here and we're gonna read, I'm gonna play one of the tones in my mind. I'm gonna play one of those tones and listen to the
Okay.
frequency. I'm always listening to frequencies. Go out and I ground. I try to take time to walk out and grounding. I meditate, but the most important thing is trying to. Now I know I got to get rid of some of this, but eating a healthier lifestyle, like that's the one of the biggest and most important things that we can do to combat everything that's going out there, is to eat as healthy as we possibly can. If you're not, and be mindful, even when it says organic just means that they use non-chemical poisons. They're still putting poisons on it, but it's just more,
Right.
but it's natural poisons, which natural poisons still can harm you, but it's still less evasive than the chemical poisons. Uh, having a greenhouse, growing herbs, and having an herb garden in your house, growing things like that, and taking better care. Eating, I know it's not, we don't have the best fruits and vegetables anymore, but eating as much of it as you possibly can. But definitely cutting meat down, meat and processed breads and processed carbohydrates out of cutting those things down as much as you possibly can. And as Debbie said, it's more expensive. It is more expensive. It is. But it's even more expensive when if you get diabetes. It's even more expensive if you get heart disease. It's more expensive if you get some type of cancer. That becomes even more expensive than just trying to eat as best you can. And you do it to whatever level you can afford.
Right. And I rather take down a bunch of vitamins than take down a bunch of pills that the doctors give me that give you one side effect to come back to take another side effect, come back that one. I'm not doing that. I'd rather take the supplements and be healthy, because these doctors don't care about
Yeah,
us, especially minority people. They don't care. We are their test studies.
they don't. And they now this is where I usually don't get into the whole melanin thing, but the melanin thing does work when it comes to experimenting on people. They can gain more information by experimenting on people with higher melanin than they can with people with less melanin, right?
And you can stay sell your
That's
melanin
just a
too, because it's
biological thing.
worth a lot of money. Yes.
Yeah, it's not like one group is better than the other one. It's just a body thing, just a biology thing. But I'm with you every day. And there are ways to save. We buy most of our vitamins off of Amazon. Uh, but every morning I got like 12 pills 12 vitamins and minerals and things that I'm taking. Angie has, about 12 of them, 10, 12 that she takes. And a lot of them are the same, but some of them are different because she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's a woman, I'm a man. So we're going to take some things are going to be different. Um, so we have to take the time to do it. We have to put that kind of stuff in our system to get healthy, you know,
Yes,
and to do it.
I believe so.
Then the other part is stretch, exercise, and sleep. Stretch, exercise, sleep. If you're
I
not getting,
do sleep very well. That exercise, I'm trying. I'm trying. Oh Lord, I'm trying.
you got
My
to get
son gets to me all the time.
like minimum. You need 6 hours of sleep minimum. You really need about 7 to 7.5 hours, but don't go past 8 hours. You know, but that sleep is when your body recuperates. Sleep is when your body fights. Enough other things shut down so that your body can fight different diseases and things of that nature. So you got to get that sleep. Then stretching helps your blood to circulate throughout your entire body. If your blood's not circulating properly, then all the nutrition and everything is not getting where it needs to go. So you got to stretch, and especially like as you get older, at least once or
Yeah.
twice a week, take 20 minutes and sit with your butt against the wall and your feet straight up in the air, and sit like that for 20 minutes to let your blood circulate out of your legs better, and your heart will learn to work less. And We also sleep. Sometimes we lift. We have the bottom of the bed can rise up so that you don't
Okay.
sleep with legs down. Then you got to lift weights. All that cardio is great. Not really. Lifting weights, resistance training, because you build muscle, and muscle burns more than fat. Uh, Muscle is going to burn more calories than fat all the time, every time. It's going to burn more. So if you want to actually lose size and have a better skeletal muscle system that allows you to move better, then you have to, then lifting weights is key. Without resistance training, I don't even know why you're doing it. All that cardio and all that stuff doesn't even matter. Cardio is good if you just want to have a better, better breath, longer endurance, things of that nature. You only need about 10, 20 minutes of that a day or every 3-4 days. What you really need is to lift weights. And if you don't have any weight, do some push-ups, do some plyometrics, but some type of resistance program has to be incorporated.
And vitamins, and to add to your vitamins, also do the IP6 isotone. It's on Amazon. You can probably get the 2 bottles, but you want to start out with 5 in the morning, 5 at night to build up your white blood cells.
So 5 in the morning, 5 at night, and that's the IP6.
Yeah, inositol. INOSITOL.
Okay. That was Angel running up the stairs. No, actually, they said they wanted to see you.
I'll be back then.
I'm scared to hit this X. I don't want to exit myself out of here. I got to see words. I don't really see anything.
Yeah. And see, like Know Thyself just said, cardio is important for endurance, but yes, too much can deplete muscles because it will burn your muscle. Too much cardio in your body will start cannibalizing the muscle. And then you won't be able to get there. Weightlifting plateaus is better to do a resistance training program than actually I do. Weightlifting can plateau, but that's why you have to change up your workouts and change up the style of workout that you're doing. Like you can't just do max work. You might do. When I would train my clients, we might go max. We might max this week. Well, it depends on what I train them for. So let me start there. Depending on what they're training for. But we will alternate the style of workouts that we would do every week. And IP6, Raquel, but I would change it up. So like they might go 6 weeks before they repeat the majority of the, a lot of the workout. It might go 6 weeks before they repeat a workout. Like if I did all plyometrics today, before they would ever do all plyometrics again, 6 weeks may go by. I will mix in some plyometrics in between with some weightlifting. We might do high reps, low weight, high reps, then a mixture of those two. So you keep mixing it up. And it's really just putting your body in a situation where it doesn't know what the hell you're going to do next. So it has to keep adapting and keep changing,
I just want to say to Valentina, I'm so sorry for the loss. They were saying that a friend of mine who was diagnosed with cancer in April started chemotherapy in May and was dead by July.
Yeah.
Check the number. Wow. Oh, wow.
That's how it goes.
Wow.
If people have been with me since last year, they know. Well, y'all wouldn't know it, but October 1st, I was feeling some kind of way in this beginning of October because last year in February, my friend Karen told me that she had pancreatic cancer, stage 4. And I was like, God damn, stage 4. And I was like, look, I got a friend who has a hyperbaric chamber, but let me do some research on that real quick as far as how cancer cells respond to a hyperbaric chamber. But, me and her have been friends for like 10, 12 years. And she halfway listens to the health stuff that I would tell her. But I tried to tell her, like, look, we need some raw chocolates. We need seaweed, just giving her the list. We need the soursop. I need you to do this 7-day cleanse to clean your gastric system. You know, we got to get your white blood. I didn't know about IP6, but I was like, we got to get your immune system boosted like a champ. Um, but she
I
was so
didn't know
afraid
about
and followed
IP6
the
either. Yeah.
doctor's advice. Yeah, she followed the doctor's advice with the chemo. But then by the time she wanted to listen to me, it's July.
It was too late.
She done lost so much weight. At this point, the hyperbaric chamber doesn't work because the studies they have done with a hyperbaric chamber, you have to start that before you start your chemo. And
okay.
so it was a little too late, and she passed away October 1st last year.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
So I'm with Valentino on that one. Like, people start, that chemo is a beast. It's a beast on your body.
It is, and died. They said they had found people that died of old age, and they had cancer cells in their body, but they never died from cancer. You died from the chemo, but the chemo just rushes faster, right? So it just take you out faster, and then doctors don't tell you that.
No, they don't.
And it's not. They don't, because it's $10,000 a pop every time you do an infusion of chemo. Radiation, I don't know how much that costs, but 10,000. So if you go 3 times, that's $30,000 that they got off your insurance.
And that's what they want. They want that money.
And the doctors get a kickback off of that too.
Now, Glenn Gardner just mentioned something that is important to take into consideration, and is that, just to say what he said exactly, just make sure you're buying the right type of vitamins, because you're not going to absorb all of any vitamin, but you want to make sure you're able to purchase the ones that has better absorption rates. I don't know which way to go on this thing to make it work.
Well, I agree with him because, I know I stick with my vitamin C, my D3s, and also the reason why we get sick also because our body's lacking the vitamins. So I can't see in the words, but our bodies are lacking something. So that's why. So the food that we eat don't have the vitamins like we had back in the days when our moms, the old good cooking and stuff with all the vitamins. They took that out. So now we got to put the vitamins in.
I remember reading a study when I was a personal trainer. I remember reading a study that was showing that a peach grown like in the 1930s and 40s compared to a peach that you eat in Georgia in the 2000s, you need to eat 50 of them today to get this equivalency of one that was grown in the 1930s. Because the way farming is today, the way the chemicals and all that stuff, it just snatches all the nutrition is just gone. Farmers don't plant alfalfa in the ground and let that just die and grow and die and refertilize the soil. They don't use zinc to refertilize the soil. They just grow and grow and grow.
Because they can't. They can, because they would lose their business too. Because they threaten the farmers, like, if you don't use our GMO, you can't farm.
Exactly, and they're letting companies like Monsanto's own patents on seeds. How you own a patent on the seed? I don't want any soy anyway, but to open that floodgate to allow people to own patents on things of that nature.
But they have machines that you can grow your own vegetables in the house. Yeah. They have machines that on Amazon that you can grow your own vegetables with water. And they have the food, for it, and you put it in a machine, and it feeds it every 12 hours or something like that. And then it grows. So you could grow your own tomatoes, your peppers, whatever you want to grow, onions, whatever. It's on Amazon. And
we just saw this. What was that in Paris? Yeah, we just saw this thing.
I bought one, a hydroponic, and it works real good.
Yeah,
and
and
it grows.
you don't need any
Yeah,
soil for you up
and we
there
ain't
in
no
Brooklyn.
soil.
You in Brooklyn, you ain't got no grass.
No, but I did buy a growth tent to put it in. And what happened? I put it in soil, and it plant died, so I got to start over again.
Mm-hmm. But those are things that we really we individually we're not going to beat big government. Individually, we're not. But while we're fighting as a group, individually, we can do better to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, we have to, because if they're going against us, trying to get us extend out, take us out, like by 2030, the population is supposed to be a certain number. What do you think? They're trying to take us out because we are not going out fast enough.
Yeah. Um, I've been pretty much ignoring this one person's comments in here, but I'm gonna acknowledge this one. He was asking. He said, "What is the purpose of keeping people sick?" Well, there's two main purposes. Well, three. If the people are sick, then they're going to be more dependent upon the government to take care of them, and then that gives the government more control. Number two, money. If the people are sick, you're going to make more money off the people to provide for them a methodology to keep them alive, but always having to come back. It's the old drug dealer scam. I want you to keep coming back, right? And then the third one, if you keep the people sick and they're dependent upon the government and they're broke, then the people can't rise up against you, And a fourth one, population control. They don't want everybody to be here. There are many different groups out there who want the population to shrink down. They just got rid of the Georgia Guidestones. One of the principles on the Georgia Guidestone was to get the human population down to 500 million. And, if you are in power, you are in control, then that's controlling the people. Those are things you do to control people. If I control your substance, I control your health, I control your ability to fight, then I'm going to control the people. Just like how when we talk about our breaking down of religion, Emperor Theodosius realized he can control the Roman Empire better by giving them a religion that he controls versus keeping a standing army. It made sense back then to do that because now he can control the people through religion. Well, they're losing more and more of their religious control. So they got to control the people in other ways. And if I can control your ability to live and how you live, then I can control the people. And if you're part of the elites, you're all for it because it's more money to you. And you actually they're getting the benefits of the better medical care, the better foods, the better environments, but they're also getting the money from all the other people suffering.
There's a comic on here that said, "This is BS. Why Black people have health problems? Misinformation." Well, I'm just telling you from my experience with what I did, and I know what works for me, and I'm still here because I could have been gone 5 years ago if I didn't do what I did and listen to the doctors. It's not misinformation because it helped me, and I'm here today. And if I can help somebody else out, just to live a little longer, then hey, but it's not misinformation. So I'm sorry, Paul.
Oh, so you have to understand. I don't think
Yeah.
there's any conversation. There's rarely the conversation that we have that Paul is supportive or positive about. And he plays devil advocate in almost every conversation. Like he made a statement, so people in the government just letting this happen. Just because you're a person in the government, there are stages. I knew a lot of things that was happening in the government, and I knew a lot of messed up things that was happening. But at my level, there was nothing I was going to be able to do to affect the higher levels of things that was going on. And then there were things going on I didn't even know. I would not have known. And I didn't find out so much later. So it's not like everybody in government is walking around in a big ass meeting talking, yeah, this is what we're going to do. It's that few at the top. And then it filtered down. And then not everybody is told everything to do. And you give them different reasons for why we're doing something.
There's
Yeah.
so many things. And when I was working with NYPD, and you know, it used to be all these drive-by shootings, right? It's because the need of organs.
Hmm.
And these drive-by shootings was organized by
Yeah.
sharpshooters. I'm not going to say they were organized by sharpshooters coming there. They wait for a group together, and they shoot
Yeah. And it's
point
funny.
blank. Yeah,
And he'll say something like it's not true, what I just said about the
it
government.
is true.
Now, here's the thing about it is that you're talking to a person who was in the government, who worked for the Marine Corps, who worked in a headquarters command, who, because I was able to piece together and know what some people went and did, and then on the news, I'm hearing a totally different story. And I'm sitting there like, that's not what we did. That's not what actually happened. So I know that that the government will swerve the people in a direction that they want them to go. It's not something I'm guessing at. It's something that I definitely know, you know. And
Right, but that's
yeah,
how they try and do repetition. They say this all news channel. You turn to every news channel, they say the same thing
mhm.
verbatim.
Yeah, but
And so,
I just
yeah,
I ignore a lot of that stuff because it's kind of like religion to me. If you happy in your mindset of where you at, I'm gonna let you be happy right on over there. I'm not even trying to bother you with it. You good. If you think that everything is hunky dory, that the government uh, doesn't have any kind of mischievous things going on, then that's you. But what I do know is that I never got the vaccine. My kids didn't get it, and we never got COVID. And anytime in their little lives that they were ever sick or came down with something, uh, I knew what to do eating wise to get them healthy. But my kids hardly ever got sick. You know, uh, my daughters initially had some little problems because they were premature, so when they were real small. But like my daughter Sydney, she allergic to everything when she was a baby. But I slowly introduced everything to her body and then upped her immune system. She didn't literally breastfeed, but she still drank her mother's milk until she was about 3. So she was going to get as healthy as she possibly can, and she's not allergic to anything now, right? So we don't. I don't just talk about these kinds of things. It's things that I've experienced and things that I live by. So, and like my man, somebody just said trauma saying the kitchen is your hospital, and it is. Like
yeah.
your kitchen is your hospital. Your backyard is your hospital. My pharmacy is out in the woods because now that I got time, I will get back into studying herbs, and having that understanding. I used to cheat because I had other people that I can just contact and be like, hey, what I need to do, what I need to take, or I need some of these tinctures. So can you go ahead and just make me some and I pay for it. But now I gotta get back to where I make it myself. Going out there, picking dandelions and putting them in that jar and let them sit. And some of these things takes time. Like to make dandelion root tincture, it takes like 30 days.
Oh, okay. I heard about that, but I would just try to buy the dandelion pills or something. I don't that. That's a long time. And they're
Peels,
saying
you
cayenne
can do,
pepper too is
yeah, you
good.
can do peels, but it's better if you can go out and get it naturally and make it yourself naturally. It's better. And making things into tinctures also works better because when you squirt when it goes in through your mouth and under your tongue, it gets into your body better, it gets into your bloodstream better.
Okay.
Yeah. But
This
most of
is
you,
awesome. Yeah. This is awesome.
yeah,
I just my thing one I wanted to do is do lectures and just go out and just tell people my experience. So thank you for having me on here. I to tell people that cancer is horrible, but it's not a death sentence. You can beat it. You can beat it.
yeah, you
You
can.
know, with the mind change, change it on the mind because your mind and your body goes together. And once you think defeat, you're gonna be defeated. But if you say no, I'm gonna beat this, you're gonna beat it.
Yeah. And that's the first thing you have to make up in your mind and have be absolute about it. Absolute. And then take the action. Like on Monday when we was going over the hermetic laws, you gotta once you get it in your mind that you're gonna defeat this, then you have to put forth the right action to get it done. If you just sit there and don't put any work behind it, nothing's gonna happen. You know,
Right.
you took action, right? And that action got you healed. You know, and that's what we have to do is to take
Like
those.
I had to, you got to take the initiative because when my granddaughter said it, she was 5 years old at the time, I think, and I was like, "Grandma, you're not gonna die." And it was so funny that when I'm sick, she would not leave my side. I gotta be with grandma. I gotta be with grandma. That's when I know if something's wrong with me. She will have to be with me. She will come and stay with me until I'm healed.
Right.
Um, she knows. I don't know why, but she's the last of my. I got 8 grandkids, and she's the last one. But when I'm sick, she said, "I'm." Tells my daughter, "I have to see grandma. I have to see grandma." And every time she do that, something's wrong with me, and she had to come see why. And I don't know why that connection is like that, but I don't know.
And be glad it's there. But
Yeah,
yeah, and like I said, doctors are good for if I break a bone, I'll go see a doctor, set it in the right, get it reset, in the right space, stabilized, and then after that, you know, I'm gonna eat my way into my body healing itself. Um, if I need a diagnosis of something, the technology is good for diagnostics. Good job. You told me what I got to deal with. Now I'm gonna take care of this.
right.
You know, any and everything. There are certain things that everything has its place and has its use. So we just use them for what they are. But the medical industry is gone way overboard for how they function, and how they work. We shouldn't have to go to them for everything. We shouldn't have to yeah, we shouldn't have to depend on them for everything. Tell me what's wrong, and I'm out. And then I'll go and figure out what I need to do. Like anytime a doctor is giving me a diagnosis of something, I'm like, okay, bet. Now let me go and understand what causes this, what's the root of it. And then once I know the root of it, now I'm looking for what plants, what fruits and vegetables, what type of, and then I'm looking at frequencies and meditations, and I'm gonna do all those things. I'm looking for the whole holistic health circle to come around and figure out how to defeat this thing and get past it. Like,
But I know for one thing, I was listening to a guy. I'm sorry, and he was saying that watermelon, was it H3O is the real water, and we're supposed to drink this watermelon. And that's supposed to supply all our needs, as far as what the body needs, because the H2O takes away. That's why we always thirsty. So when you drink the watermelon, it make you not dehydrated, but it makes you're not dehydrated.
right.
So there's it's something about watermelon.
hmm I haven't recently, but I usually would eat when I was in the cigar lounge every day. I would eat like a quarter of a watermelon every day. You know, and that one, yes, that thing hydrates you properly. Oh, and all right, ladies, close y'all ears. So Ernestine, close your ears. All the other ladies, I don't need y'all listen to this part. And for the fellas, that watermelon, keep you strong.
I gotta say something about watermelon. Lord have mercy.
Especially the closer to the rind that you eat. Now, when I do talk to men about, because as we get older, uh, our body produces less testosterone and things of that nature. So, I tell them like, look, man, these are some natural things you can do to keep your body going. And watermelon is great for that. It's great for that. Watermelon can all the melons really, watermelon, cantaloupe, all that, but especially watermelon. But just had to throw that little part in there for my guys.
Right.
Um, so, and it's it's a whole wild thing that we have to do in order to keep ourselves healthy, and we really should take time. The main thing is people just we don't take time to approach it correctly, to utilize it. We don't study it, we don't research it. We just go to the white coats, and that's it. When
You know,
we can
they-
save ourselves a lot of time, energy, and money by not doing that.
right. My dad used to tell me all the time, you know why? If you want to hide something, put it in the book. The
Hmm.
black people don't read, and like,
Well, now
wow.
now I would say people don't read, period, because none of them read.
Yeah, but my dad, my dad old school, he was like, they want to hide something, put it in the book. So you would put some money in the book. They're not gonna go in that book and find it because they're
Ain't
not
nobody,
gonna touch the book.
and you're right. Like I think I had a group when I was like, when the last time y'all read a book? And people like, man, I ain't read a book since I was in high school or college or something like that. And I'm like, your ass is 50, 60 years old. You ain't read a book since high school or college. That's a long time for you to have not read a book. And reading books and doing math problems, that help keeps your mind sharp. I've seen plenty of studies where they show that math problems help people. I think it's Alzheimer's or dementia, or it's both of them. But it helps to keep the mind from slipping into those situations as long as it's nothing, as long as there's no chemical imbalance that creates it. But as far as a natural progression of it, so that's why, like, I try not to do all my math problems, all my calculations by using a calculator. No, I'll figure it out myself. You know, then I might use the calculator to check and to make sure I'm right, but I try to figure it out for myself. Um, I read something every day. Whether it's a book or just an article, but continuously reading to keep the mind going. Yep, Norman said doing puzzles, figuring out puzzles, whether it's crossword puzzles or putting little pieces together, all that stuff. You got to, if you, it's basically use it or lose it.
Right. I
You
like
don't
to
use
paint.
it,
I
you lose
started
it.
painting. Yeah, I started painting because, with the car accident, I'm disabled. I still can walk and stuff, but I have a rod in my leg. So the job that I used to do, I had to carry 50 pounds equipment to go to each clinic to get patient demographic and then transfer it back, to check to see if it's Medicaid fraud, Medicare fraud, or anything like that. See if the doctor's doing what they're supposed to do as far as procedures and treatments. Um, when I had to carry this equipment, scanner,
Yeah.
the laptop, things like that. So I can't do that. So now that I'm home, I try to, do paint sets. I get up from Amazon and paint,
Right.
and keep my mind busy because I find out if I'm sitting here, I feel like I'm going crazy because I'm not doing anything. So I got to keep my mind active.
Oh yeah, you have to. And you
Yeah,
gotta keep your mind. If you keep your mind and your body active, then you're putting yourself in position for your body, however it's built, to last for as long as it possibly can. And then if you've done damage, like I know that through playing sports from a kid all the way up to playing sports even while I was in the Marine Corps, because I snuck into playing. I wasn't supposed to play semi-pro football in Germany, but we used to sneak and play anyway. But also, while I'm doing that all the way until I'm 25, and then just all the jumping and crashing in boots and all that shit for the Marine Corps, you know, you wreck your body, right? So if I don't continuously move, if I don't continuously stretch, um, get some of this weight off, and keep doing. That's why while I was sitting in the lounge and I would do push-ups. Just nobody's here. I'm gonna do about 30, 40 push-ups, knock it out. Okay, hour goes by, let me do some more. Let me stand up, let me stretch, let me walk around. But you got to keep moving. Even if you're in your house, you got to keep moving. We got 11 steps in this house. I talk trash about having to climb them, but it's good that we still climb them because it keeps your body going. you know, because like one of the big things I got to beat is arthritis. because of all the damage that I've done, you know, all the impact damage over my younger years, and it's finally and it's trying to catch up to me. So you know, you got it. But if I sit here and give in to it, 20 years from now, then I'll be one of them 70-year-old dudes, barely, you know, that little shuffle walk. You know, you doing that little shuffle. I'm not doing that little shuffle walk. I gotta stride, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have some striding going. You know, I still gotta be able to ride a motorcycle.
I just want to clarify. I just see a comment saying that we just don't. You're trying to encourage Black people not to take the vaccine. That's not it. If they want to take, y'all want to take the vaccine, y'all take the vaccine, but you don't have to.
I ain't taking shit, saying, and I'm telling people don't take it.
I'm just saying, right? You know, you can't. You know, you can't tell people what to do. I'm not telling nobody what to do, but just for me, I'm not taking it. You know, that's just like with the flu shot. Now the flu shot, people take the flu shot every year. Once you take the flu shot in your body, it's in your body. Because if you go and do blood work, you know they can find out that you have flu shot from years ago. Why keep taking the same thing over and over and over again? You're just reinfecting your body over and over and over again. Same thing with the boosters for the jab. I'm gonna say the jab. You're just reinfecting your body over and over again, weakening your body, your cells. That's what they want. They want to break down the cells so you can get sick. You get the HIV. You can get this. You can get that. It's money. If there's no sick people, like I said before, they don't have a business. There's no hospital. They can't pay the doctors. The insurance people won't get paid. Money will not go around. So once you realize this is what's happening, and you can take your health in your own hands and take care of yourself, you don't need to keep running to the doctor because you got a sniffle. Oh, this is what I got to do. It's money.
Okay, so that's Ernestine's part. I'm going to tell y'all. And I don't care. You can try to sue me if you want to.
I have no money. Don't sue me.
I haven't. They ain't gonna win. I haven't taken a flu shot since 1991, and that was the last time I took it. We was mandated to take it in the Marine Corps. That was before they started letting you decide whether or not you wanted to take some of these things or not. Now there's sometimes we go in a situation where we have to take certain things, right? They force it on, but that's last time I took a flu shot was in 91. And that's the last time I actually got the flu was in 91.
All right. Like, and you would go to the doctor today, they will see that you took the flu shot. It's still in your system.
And I would never take it again. I have never taken it again.
You don't have to.
I have never gotten the flu. The only thing I have ever gotten since 1991 is a sinus infection. And then once I realized, because a lot of people don't think about this, in the mid and late 80s, they didn't know it was sinus infections. They were giving people spinal taps and stuff, you know, because they thought there was something else. So sinus infection is relatively new because it's been kind of discovered within our lifetime. So once I understood what creates the sinus infection with the mucus and all that stuff in dairy products, I've been able to gain control over that for the most part. Every blue moon, I lose control of it. But I'm not taking none of these stuff. The last forced injections that I took was taking malaria shots before we went into Liberia and before we went to Liberia and Angola. And we had to, and they made everybody, if you was going to get off that boat, you have to take a malaria shot. That's it. I ain't taking nothing else. Right? Nothing else. I've not taken anything else. I refuse to take anything else. Right? We're not doing that. And especially this new bullshit that they don't even know what the effects are, the long-term effects. And they just
no, because they want you to be a test dummy. They are studying us. Y'all don't realize that we are their test dummies because nobody's not signing up for these. Oh, try this new drug. You see it on Facebook all the time. We want such as 100 people to sign up and test this new drugs. Because we're not doing it, they mandate it. Or they sneak it in the flu shot. Or they sneak it in. Now it's a cocktail of HIV, Ebola or this or that inside the COVID.
Yep. And
So
Debbie just said she gets in sinus infection. Let me tell you how not to get sinus infection. Uh, Now, of course, some of it is dependent upon why you get them. If you get them because of plant life, um, you're still gonna have a similar process. One, you take your vitamin C's and B6s. I mean your vitamin C's and your vitamin B's to boost your immune system. Second, learning how to meditate and how to breathe correctly and focus on your breath. But most importantly, drink half your body weight in ounces of water. So, like if you weighed 100 pounds, you would drink 50 ounces of water a day, right? So, whatever your weight is, cut it in half, drink that in ounces of water. That'll keep your system flushed. And you're going to have a lot of other benefits from this as well. But it flushes your system so that the pollens or plant life, or if you get it, because my main reason for getting sinus infections was mucus from dairy products, because I was killing ice cream like a champ. So it would flush, it would keep my body flushed. So I stopped getting sinus infections. The only time I would get a sinus infection is when I let my body get dehydrated and I'm eating a bunch of meat and meats too. Cut back on your meat. Sorry, forgot that part. Cut back on your meats as well, because meat produces mucus in your body, which mucus is where viruses and bacteria hide out. So you cut back on all that stuff, and you will either not have sinus infections at all or reduce it to the point where you might have 1 or 2 a year. Right now, when these dogwoods come out in Georgia, that's when I mostly have to fight them. Is when the dogwoods come out. Them dogwoods are a beast. For me, they be trying to kick my ass. I don't know what's in the dogwood trees, but that pollen that they produce is a beast. But yeah, mucus. But clearing your body of as much mucus as you possibly can will keep you very healthy. It keeps diseases and infections from being a part of who you are. And then it's just cleaning your gut. You should also clean your gut once a quarter. Like I'll get one of those 7-day cleansing peel programs and cleanse my gut. I haven't done it in probably about 6-7 months now, but it's about time. It's time. And you will be going to the bathroom on those days during that time frame, and you just keep drinking a lot of water, because your colon, like I said in the beginning of this video, your immune system is spending most of its time fighting the toxins in your colon from all the meat that most people are eating.
And that's the most key, is I can't stress it I can't stress it enough, your immune system. And when I realized that dealing with cancer, it was the immune system is the key, and the doctor's not going to tell you nothing about your immune system. It's the most important part of your body. Without that, if it breaks down, you're dead.
Yeah, definitely.
You're dead. And I was dying. Literally dying, laying on the couch. 3 pounds every week. I go to the doctor. Oh, you lost another 3 pounds. You lost another 3 pounds. Why you not eating? Because I can't taste nothing because my tongue is black. It was like a dark coat. They don't tell you lose your eyesight, your tongue turns color, your skin turns black, your fingernails fall off, your toenails fall off. They don't tell you this. You're literally dying from the inside out.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I watched them. I watched when AIDS was relatively new. It was a cancer treatment. It was a pill. I think it was called like ATZ or AZT or something like that. They stopped giving it to cancer patients because it was destroying all the cells in their body, not just cancer cells. So then when AIDS came out, they decided to give this treatment to people who had AIDS. And I had an uncle who had it at the time, and I was like, why are you taking this? This is going to kill all the cells in your body. Not just, this is going to kill all the cells. So you're going to die taking this pill. But, white coat worship took it anyway.
Yeah, and like the doctors was mad at me because every time they was tell me something, I rebutted back to them and ask them a question. They don't like when you ask questions to them because they don't want to answer. You're not telling me the truth. So here's my medical dictionary, so I'm gonna look it up right here. And they're like, right, and I pulled it out right on my phone, and they're like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So they was very mad at me.
But we're gonna go. I appreciate you. We're gonna go ahead and close this out for today. I think.
Thank you for having me.
Almost 2 hours is pretty good. Yeah. And but no, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being open and telling your story of how you defeated cancer without having to do by following what was right and what you studied and researched, instead of just having white coat syndrome and letting those doctors just mistreat you.
Right.
ABT. No. But yeah, so I appreciate you being open and build your platform telling your story. Get it set up the way you want to express it and explain it, and telling your story, and just keep telling it. Just keep telling. Create your platform. Keep telling your story. And
thank you.
To hell with it just affecting one person. That's bullshit. That's lazy. I don't believe in that.
Lazy. I'm just saying. I'll be happy if I help one person out.
Stop saying that bullshit. If I can just help one person, then I've done my job. That's some bullshit. Fuck the one person. You got to help the masses. We ain't got time for one person. We got time for the masses. All right. So I don't want to hear that one person stuff out your mouth ever again.
Well, if I need some advice, I'll email you or text you. I need help.
All right,
thank you.
That's fine, because we gonna come to New York sometime next year.
Oh, great!
When we go to New York, and I've heard you say that one person shit, I'm bringing my belt.
No, I want to help as many as I can, but if one would take heed and listen, and I can't. Every cancer is different, every stage is different, but if you could build your immune system up, that's the most important key. It's the immune system. Then you can fight anything.
Yeah. You can. Let me ask you this one question before we go. I listen to most of these frequencies that I listen to. You can go to YouTube. YouTube got everything.
And I'm gonna put it on my Echo device and let them, Echo. Yeah. My Echo device gonna play tonight.
Yeah, and I just let them play through that, and it works fine. So I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate everybody else. I know I'm not normally on this late, but this is as long as I'm gonna take, and we're not gonna do this that often because we just cut into Angelina time, and we're not doing it.
Yeah, I don't want her beat me up now. I'm sorry, Miss Angeline. I don't want to beat me up. And thank you, LaQuinn. You're welcome.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great one. And always remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration. And we out.
Good night.
Good night. If I can press the right button.